This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Kia ora, good evening. Welcome to the South today. I'm Daryl Baser. There was a heated debate on who gets to have a say on the future of Dunedin's main street. The Dunedin City Council voted 14-1 to establish an advisory group to help council make the decisions on the planned upgrade of George Street. But one councillor was less than pleased.
It's fair to say I'm absolutely livid.
Emotions were high as the Dunedin City Council again debated the future of George Street during a sometimes lively 90-minute discussion yesterday. Plans for major changes to the city's main shopping thoroughfare will move ahead after a proposal to ditch the work already done was quashed. Councillors also voted to create a Central City Advisory Group involving affected parties, which will be chaired by Mayor Aaron Hawkins, frustrating Councillor Carmen Houlihan, who wanted an independent to chair the group.
And the reason why we should have a neutral chair is that you're not neutral on semi-pedestrianisation.
I'm going to have to ask you to leave the meeting if you don't stop talking when I've called to hear a point of order.
Houlihan also objected to the timing of the Mayor's proposal for the group, which was sent out to councillors on Sunday.
There was no engagement. Now this is not the only time this has happened. It is continuous, where we have motions turn up last minute and it's dictated by one person mainly. It is not democratic.
Councillor Jules Radich, a leading voice against the group's membership in terms of reference when it was first proposed last month, says this version is far more inclusive, meaning it is much more likely to succeed.
People, the problems melt away, and the people who are the stakeholders who are critical to the whole process become part of the solution. Inevitably, they become part of the solution and help get the whole thing through.
Hawkins told councillors the purpose of the group was to include a wide representation of the community.
The City Advisory Group is to allow affected parties, of which retailers and hospitality businesses are one, and so is the Automobile Association, and so is Generation Zero, and so are young people, and so are local emergency services, the opportunity to give feedback on that design on the way through.
Councillors voted 14-1 to establish the group, and once all the members have been finalised, it will meet every month until the end of this council term. In Dunedin, the South today.
National Party Deputy Leader Nikki Kay and Tertiary Education Spokesman Shane Rete visited the Southern Institute of Technology today. Members of the National Party's front bench at SIT this morning checking out some of the innovations in the way nursing studies are taught, including the use of a virtual reality system. While touring the facility, Nikki Kay outlined her party's plans for the education sector.
We know many of our institutions have taken a massive hit as a result of not being able to have international students. But what we do know as well is that the vocational reform, in our view, is potentially costing hundreds of millions of dollars, and at a time when we want to do everything possible to prevent what we're projecting as 150,000 people not in work, we don't think that it's right to proceed with the vocational reforms.
The party's deputy leader says they're planning to rescind the government's planned reform of the education sector, should they win September's general election. More than 80 workers who sought Invercargill's recycling are keeping their jobs for at least another 18 months. The good news coming after a year of negotiations about their contract with various local councils.
Happy in their work, over 80 Southland workers with disabilities have kept their jobs sorting Invercargill's recycling. Yesterday, the Invercargill City Council renewed its contract with Southland Disability Enterprises for a further 18 months. The organisation's General Manager Hamish McMurdo says he's very relieved the contract has been renewed.
Now that we've achieved an agreement, we're very happy and looking forward to getting on with what we're good at, which is processing the region's recycling and keeping our employees gainfully employed.
For the past 8 years, the organisation has had a contract with WasteNet to recycle the wheelie bin collections from the region, but they were advised last winter that their contract was unlikely to be renewed. McMurdo says the workers and their families had been feeling the stress as they awaited the outcome of negotiations.
I'm very nervous right through today even, so look, they're going to be ecstatic, to be perfectly honest. It'll be quite a relief for the families as well as the people involved.
Worker Dylan Stewart says he enjoys the routine of his job in the recycling plant.
Getting up early in the morning and get your gear organised and do your routine and do your job and carry on.
McMurdo also credits the success of the negotiations to the good efforts the dedicated staff have been putting into their job every day.
The markets love the product that we produce here. It's of high quality, and this is what we've made ourselves experts at. So, you know, I think that they need to pat themselves on the back and go, well done them.
In Invercargill, the South Today.
More than a dozen forged banknotes have been presented to Oamaru businesses within the past week. 16 fake $50 notes have been used to buy footwear and clothing in the town. Police say the notes are of an older style, and while they look good from a distance, there are some obvious giveaways on closer inspection. The counterfeit money rips easily because it's just paper, while it's harder to tear real notes because they're a mix of plastic and paper. Police say the fake currency in Oamaru could be linked to the recent arrest of a man in Timaru in regards to forged money. A Dunedin Railways locomotive assistant has probably cleared out his locker at the railway station for the last time. Paul Jeffrey started work as a volunteer cleaning trains for the Otago Excursion Train Trust in 1989 and is now one of 50 staff being laid off.
Paul Jeffrey clears out the work locker he's had most of his 30 years working for Dunedin Railways. He's one of 50 staff being let go after it was announced a tourist venture, which included sightseeing excursions up the Taieri Gorge, is being mothballed.
It's just sort of the wind up, so I'm just clearing out all the bits and pieces from my locker that I've accumulated over the years, including my locomotive kit bag and, you know, all the things that you need for work, and probably a few other things too.
He says it's strange to visit Dunedin's railway station for the last time as an employee after nearly a lifetime of service to the company.
It's a bit emotional. You know, this has been, I guess, a part of my life. I started here at the age of 21 and back in 1989, and then got the full-time job, and 30 years of being at the same place. It's quite surreal to suddenly have to be locking up and leaving, or, you know, leaving this building that I've been coming to for the last 3 decades plus.
His family have a strong connection with railways and even donated money to keep the Dunedin one afloat.
My ancestry is from railways. My grandfather worked for the railways for his whole life up on the North Island, so my mother had railways in her blood, and she gave $1,000 towards the Save the Train appeal in 1990 from the inheritance, so there's a personal bit of ancestry embedded in the saving of this railway.
Jeffrey says he remains hopeful that New Zealand's borders will open to allow some sort of tourist train to be running this summer. In Dunedin, the South Today.
And still to come on the South Today, a Dunedin person gives a generous donation to a local school, and we head to Ashburton for a ploughing contest using vintage machinery. See you after the break.
You've seen us in the street, now find us online. Check out shopon.org.nz. We have all sorts of treasures, from retro and vintage clothing to antiques, homewares and accessories. New items added every week. We're open 24/7.
Hi, Lindsay Campbell. We're back in Invercargill again. We're here for a month. We've got a men's fashion clearance and up to 70% off. We're right beside the Motorcycle Mecca check them out too. Jackets, lovely knitwear, scarves, hats, you name it, we'll keep you warm. Come and see us at the Menswear Fashion Clearance pop-up.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
That's the Alex Campbell Menswear pop-up store in Invercargill.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Garage Dunedin, delivering quality, stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garage quality service. Garage Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
Wrens are Otago's painting, tiling and plastering experts. Offering a free measure and quote, Wrens is a name you can trust to get the job done right. Call Wrens today on 477 9384 or visit wrens.co.nz.
Do you know Youth Grow in North East Valley? It's an awesome plant nursery where young people can work and learn life skills. You can now order your vegetable seedlings, herbs, bulbs and shrubs over the phone or by email. Either pick up your order on Norwood Street in North East Valley or they can deliver to you. Look for Youth Grow Garden Centre on Facebook or visit youthgrow.org.nz. Happy gardening!
Heaven Sent Pet Cremations knows that losing a pet is like losing a family member, and we have many special ways for you to keep their memory dear to your heart. From caskets, remembrance pendants to remembrance spheres. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today. If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Inside are all sorts of innovations from all over China.
No minor, welcome back. The ASB is to permanently close its Mosgiel branch as part of a nationwide reduction of its services. The Gordon Road branch is one of 9 across New Zealand set to close as part of a focus on helping customers online or bank over the phone. The branch has been shut since the country went into level 4 lockdown on March 26th and isn't going to reopen. The ASB says no employees will lose their jobs as staff are being redeployed into specialist guidance and advisory roles. The bank says its branches in Queenstown and Westport will run shorter operating hours. Music students at Otago Girls High School have a very special piece of new equipment thanks to a very generous benefactor. But the school's principal says it was the mission getting the sizable donation into place.
Otago Girls High School pupil Annika Perenara tries out their newly acquired Yamaha Baby Grand piano. The instrument has been donated by former Dunedin music teacher Margaret Darin.
Well, I would like it to be used, and none of the family were interested, and it's a grand piano is quite an awkward piece of furniture to have in your house. It dominates the room. And I wanted it to still be used and enjoyed.
And while she's no longer able to play the piano, she has fond memories of performing solos and duets at Dunedin rest homes.
It was very rewarding that, because music is something people enjoy all their life. And one particular trip down to Ross Home, one of the caregivers down there said to me, she'd been doing a study about older people, and she said that that was the first time that person had spoken for years. I'd played something that she used to play.
She chose to donate the instrument to Otago Girls High because her daughters and granddaughters have attended the school. However, school principal Linda Miller says it was a challenge to move the 5'6" keyboard to its new home.
It was quite a challenge. We actually had to hire a crane to lift it out of the Darren's house, and then it took quite a number of staff person handling the instrument to get it into where we have it now.
The school intends to make the piano available to music students as well as pupils who just enjoy making music. In Dunedin, the South Today.
More than 20 ploughmen took to the paddocks of the Big Family Farm at Wakanui as part of the Mid-Canterbury Vintage Machinery Club's competitions. A man whose family had been furrowing fields for about a century was declared the winner on the day. Getting behind the wheel of an old friend in a competition which isn't about speed but about keeping on the straight and narrow. Mid-Canterbury Vintage Machinery Club Ploughing Committee President Colin Boone says the annual match was held in near perfect conditions.
Today we're on the Big Family Farm. Wee bit overcast. It's going to be good ploughing. The soil's in good condition.
Boone says there is a depth of ploughing talent in the 21-strong field, from newcomers to some very experienced hands with many years in the saddle of some fine examples of vintage machinery.
We've also got some of the top ploughmen in New Zealand. Bob Merton's one in mention. He's ploughing here today in the reversible class, and it goes right through the range to a guy that's just bought a plough, and it's his second match.
He says the events are run over 4 classes, including a section for horse-drawn ploughs. And like with any competition, entrants are graded in a number of categories, with judges retiring to decide whether old hands prevail.
It's very good to get those new guys coming in the bottom, because there's a lot of older guys dropping out the top end. So I hope they do well and stick with it.
Colin Boone placed second in the day's competitions, qualifying him for the New Zealand ploughing match in Kirwi next month, where he's set to compete against champion ploughman Bob Mertens for a chance to represent New Zealand in Ireland later next year. In Mid-Canterbury, the South Today. And after the break on the South Today, we're at the site of a new bridge on the west coast, and we have a look at your midweek weather. See you after the break.
Heaven Sent Pet Cremations knows that losing a pet is like losing a family member, and we have many special ways for you to keep their memory dear to your heart. From caskets, remembrance pendants to remembrance fairs. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today.
Hi, Lindsay Campbell. We're back in Invercargill again. We're here for a month. We've got a men's fashion clearance at up to 70% off. We're right beside the motorcycle Mecca. Check them out too. Jackets, lovely knitwear, scarves, hats, you name it, we'll keep you warm. Come and see us at the menswear fashion clearance pop-up.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
That's the Alex Campbell Menswear pop-up store in Invercargill.
Come on, mate. The blue doesn't go with the brown.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Step into Shop on Carol and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
Do you know Youth Grow in North East Valley? It's an awesome plant nursery where young people can work and learn life skills. You can now order your vegetable seedlings, herbs, bulbs and shrubs over the phone or by email. Either pick up your order on Norwood Street in North East Valley or they can deliver to you. Look for Youth Grow Garden Centre on Facebook or visit youthgrow.org.nz. Happy gardening!
Wrens are Otago's painting, tiling and plastering experts. Offering a free measure and quote, Wrens is a name you can trust to get the job done right. Call Wrens today on 477 9384 or visit wrens.co.nz.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Welcome back. Work on building a new bridge on the west coast reached a milestone this week, with the first piles being driven into the riverbed. The new two-way bridge is set to replace the current one-way crossing of the Ahora River.
The first piles were driven 9 metres into sandstone this week for the new bridge where State Highway 7 crosses the Ahora River halfway between Reefton and Greymouth.
Yeah, so on the south side here we've got some temporary staging, which the staging is just used to enable the crane to access the bridge build. So the staging will be set up in the existing river flow, and that will enable us to build the bridge on the south side. The bridge on the north side will be built from within the riverbed, and that will be used, or that will be done using the crane on this north side.
The $25 million project is being built by HEB Construction plus local subcontractors, and the bridge builders are making a point of keeping the local community in the loop.
Yeah, so we engaged with the local school, and we've run a bit of a competition where we got the school to name the cranes, and along with that all the children engaged and entered into a colouring competition and drawing competition for the older children. So that's been a great success. So the children have named the cranes, so we've got Cranky on the south side, Big Boy on the north side, and we've got a drill rig. He's been named Rock Crusher.
The finished project will replace the current one-way bridge and is set to be completed by mid next year. In Ahora, the south today.
Now time for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's Otago Daily Times. We welcome the editor, Barry Stewart.
Good evening, Daryl.
G'day.
18 Otago Southland schools involving up to 3,000 pupils will get free lunches as part of a new government support package. That was announced today. The future of the Waipori Falls village is under a bit of a cloud because of failing infrastructure. Waipori, about 54 k's south of Dunedin, has 12 permanent residents. The government has announced $300 million for Otago and Southland infrastructure projects, but only one part, $10 million, has been identified so far, and that's involving the Invercargill CBD. Nationals, everybody's been in Southland today. Nationals Deputy Leader Nikki Kay was in Invercargill today and announced it would unwind the government's return to tertiary education plans if elected. Queenstown Mayor Jim Bolt has backed Queenstown Airport Corporation over its decision not to approve Sound Air's proposed service between Wanaka and Christchurch. And the business case for some good news. The business case for the new Dunedin Hospital build has been signed off and will go to Cabinet in August.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, indeed.
All that and more in tomorrow's paper.
Thanks,
Thank you, Barry.
Daryl.
Time now for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Starting with the city view of today's wild sea at Dunedin's St Clair Beach. Looking at the situation, cold southerly airflow dies out tomorrow with heavy frosts likely, especially inland. A northerly airflow is arriving on Friday, so temperatures will be comparatively milder. Starting off at the northwest of the South Island, Greymouth and Westport are looking at mostly clear skies and 12 degrees. And across to the northeast, Nelson and Blenheim can expect a cloud or two and 12 degrees. Moving down to Canterbury, it'll be mostly cloudy with showers for some here. Kaikoura heads for 7, Christchurch should reach 8, while Ashburton is set to reach 7 degrees. To the southern towns, plan for light southerlies and clear skies. The Catlins and Balclutha aim for 7 degrees, while Lumsden and Gore both head for 8 degrees. Across to central Otago, you can expect light southerlies and fine for all areas. Wanaka and Alexandra head for 7, Queenstown should reach 6, while Te Anau aims for a high of 8 degrees. And in the northern towns, on the coast, Timaru and Oamaru can expect moderate southerlies and showers. Timaru should get to 8, 1 degrees up on the 7 degree predicted high for Oamaru. Inland, those in Twizel and Omarama can plan for light southerlies and clear skies. Twizel should get to 8 degrees with 7 for Omarama. In Dunedin, showers clearing tonight with an overnight low of 2 degrees. Cloud breaks bringing sunny periods tomorrow, and it'll be very cold, a high of 7 and a low of -2. It'll be sunny at first on Friday, but cloud increases during the day before rain develops at night, a high of 10 and a low of 7 degrees. And in Invercargill, it'll be cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 2 degrees, becoming fine and sunny during the morning tomorrow, with cold southerlies dying out. Expect a frost tomorrow night, with a high of 8 and a low of -3 degrees. Cloud increases on Friday with rain developing late in the day, and fresh gusty northerly winds may be strong later, a high of 13 and a low of 8 degrees. And that's all from the South Today team for this Wednesday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and follow Channel 9 and the ODT on social media. Have a great evening. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.